Hey guys, this time I'm here with, I suppose, a sort of vlog for once. The topic I want to talk about is quite close to, well, very close to my heart. I've been through a lot of it. It's, I think, something that everybody at some point in their lives goes through. And whether it's when you're in kindergarten, where did I say kindergarten? I'm English. Alright, nursery school, kindergarten for Americans. From when you're tiny, primary school, secondary school, graduating, even in the workplace, this goes on. So everybody at some point in their life, I'm sure, goes through this. And yeah, the topic I'm talking about is bullying. Um, Needless to say, I hate bullying. If any of you have watched any of my other videos, you will know that I've been through a lot of this. I am disabled myself. I am on crutches or in a wheelchair. When I was in hospital for a long time, been in and out for ages. I've got medical conditions. They're getting worse. There's not really a lot you can do to stop it. You know, they just sort of level out for a while and then dip and just get worse. So it's kind of unpredictable. And I was diagnosed with my conditions well, one of my conditions when I was 10. Some days I was fine. I could walk around like a normal 10-year-old, no crutches, nothing, absolutely fine. Um, and other days I couldn't even get out of bed. And it just gradually got worse. I went to using one walking stick. Then one day my legs stopped moving completely. And it took about 2 weeks of intensive physio in hospital to get my legs moving again. That was when I got the crutches. That was May. No, it wasn't March 2011. Yeah, 2012 now. I keep thinking it's 2011 still. And then in September 2011, just after I'd gone back to school for my last year, I ended up being in hospital for 5 weeks because my conditions just got worse. My pain was out of control. When I then came home and had another month off school, and went back to school in November in a wheelchair. Now, this was when the bullying really started. I'd always had bullying, really, from even before I was ill. Little things, you know, I was always very, very small. I'm not so much small than everybody else now, but I was very small for my age when I was younger. I was also off school a lot because I was ill, even I'd just get a lot of illnesses, and I think that had quite a big impact on it as well. Whatever the reason, I was always bullied through primary school. Um, Kind of went when I went to secondary school for a few years. I then changed secondary school because we moved away, and I instantly had a lot of friends there at the school. That was in my third year. I started my third year. I really did have a lot of friends there. I made loads of amazing friends, and I really liked it. They knew of my condition, but when I went there, I was still not on crutches or anything. And gradually, I went to one stick to crutches, and then bam, wheelchair. Things started to get bad when I was in hospital the first time in my crutches. I would lose friends because I wasn't seeing them. And the second time I was in for 5 weeks, and I had one person visit me, one of my friends visit me. Most of them didn't text, and there was a lot of talking going on at school. Um, so when I went back in the wheelchair, that was when things got awful. I mean, that I've now graduated, and that time of my life wasn't that long ago, but I feel so much better now. And that time of my life was probably the lowest point. I mean, I'm nearly 16, so I'm not exactly old, but that was the lowest point in my life. I lost nearly all of my friends, one by one. I had lots of different groups, and I lost 4 groups of friends in the time because there were the odd ones that would understand. I've got a few close ones, and that's about it. Most of my friends are online, actually. They're more supportive, but I have a few really good real life friends, which I'm very fortunate to have. But at that time, I didn't really, you know, I've had sort of arguments even with the ones that I realise now did stand by me. But the ones that didn't, I sort of, they couldn't accept that I was in a wheelchair now, and it was hard enough for me one time I was there at lunchtime, I was sitting there, and they were all talking about how if they were in my position, they'd commit suicide because they couldn't bear to be in a wheelchair and stuff like that. And I don't know if they were trying to say it to make me feel better, but that was upsetting. That wasn't the worst bit. I mean, I've had people... I would go through the corridors in school and have people I don't know call me retards. I'd have people come up to me and say, get the fuck... Sorry for swearing. Get the fuck out of that wheelchair because you don't need it. And I used to be a very confident... Not really in your face, but really sort of, if anybody would make a remark like that, I'd be on them and I would make them look incredibly stupid. But that just sort of, sorry, my hair's awful. That just sort of, it knocked my confidence so much, and I just went from being the most confident person to nothing. I was crying every night at school, at home, because of school. Nobody was allowed to push me in the wheelchair apart from the teachers or myself, but I couldn't do that all day because it's hard. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a wheelchair and had to try and push themselves. It's not easy, especially when you've got medical conditions that affect you all over. And the teachers had to push me around, the learning assistants, and they were awful to me. They were absolutely horrendous. They used to forget me. I wasn't going to... Bearing in mind this was my last year of school, right before my end exams, which would affect the entire future of my life and whether I got into college or not. They used to just forget about me. I think I ended up taking early study leave, and I think the thing that really did it for me was when I was left in a room on my own. It had a step in which I had to get out and get my crutches. My crutches were over the other side of the room and I couldn't push a wheelchair, and I was left there for an hour. I had to call, the only way I could do it was call my mum, who had to call the school. She had to call 3 times before they sent anyone up. And my mum called up to complain because she got so many people involved all the time because they were so awful and they were very rude to me. They really did not like me. You know, some of them nearly reduced me to tears at point, and I'm not that type of person. I'm not that girl that cries at school all the time. I am not a crier in front of people. That's not me. And I made sure that I didn't give anybody the satisfaction of seeing me cry at school. So it used to just come out when I get home. I mean, my poor parents, half the time I'd get in the door and burst into tears. And when my mum phoned up to complain about me being left, again, they were, you know, it wasn't just the odd thing, it was every day. I started making a list, and it was sort of, I also wasn't getting the help I needed. Other people were getting it, who didn't actually need it. And I started making a list of what lessons, and in like a week, I think I missed. Well, in one day I missed 4 out of 5 lessons. Half of them. I got there for half of them when they picked me up. I'd miss whole periods sometimes because they didn't pick me up. And when my mum phoned up to complain, again, she said to the person, I've got one thing to say to you. If there had been a fire in this school, my daughter would have been dead. And it was true. And that was the moment that my mum said, enough's enough. And I took early study leave. And that was a very good thing. I mean, it was only a few weeks before everybody else went on study leave for their exams. And it was a very good thing for me to do. Because it meant that I could go through my exams alright. I still had to go in for my exams and things like that, and that was still stressful. I went in for the last week of school. The one day that I cried at school was my last day because I was so relieved. It was very emotional because I was just so relieved that I was leaving school. So yeah, that's my story of bullying. That was what really affected me. And I've had to get my self-confidence back now slowly, and I am slowly starting to. In September I'm off to college, a new college where only a few people I know are going, but not in my lessons, so I'm going to make all new friends, and I am so looking forward to it, because I can be someone else. I'm in a rehabilitation program right now, which means that I'll be able to walk, I'll be able to walk around college on crutches, and I can just get a new start. I can be whoever I want to be, and they'll always know me with crutches. I won't be the girl in the wheelchair. I'll be the girl that happened to have crutches, but people don't automatically think of you as disabled. And a really cool thing is that for my prom, my mum decorated my crutches to match my dress, which I haven't taken off yet, so they're quite cool. I'll try and get them. I don't know if this is in the camera shot, but we have crutches. So that'll be cool. But yeah. But the reason I'm making this vlog isn't to sort of be like, haha, sob, you know, feel sorry for me, because I don't want that. I want to tell other people that are being bullied that there is hope. I have been so much better now I'm out of that environment, and you've just got to go in there with the attitude, you're not going to beat me. People always have a reason for bullying you. They don't just aimlessly bully you. I mean, a lot of the popular bitches that bullied me were fat or had a lot of problems at home. They are always insecure about themselves. You just need to remember that. I know there is hope, and you're not alone with bullying. Everybody gets bullied, and you've just got to go in there, not show them that they've got you. The best way sometimes if they make a remark is just to smile at them, because they do not know what to do with it. Because if you answer back and be gobby, yeah, it feels good, but some people don't have the confidence, and also it's not the best way to deal with things, because you provoke them and give them more ammunition. If you're just quiet and withdrawn and look sad, then they're going to know they've got you and they've won. So the best thing to do is just to smile at them and know inside who the better person is. Whether they bully you about your height, your weight, your appearance, you know, if you're a geek and you've got braces and glasses and you think they're so beautiful and they're bullying you, it's fake. It's all fake. And what really matters is who's beautiful inside. And those bullies are not beautiful inside, they're ugly. And you've just got to remember that and keep your head held high, and don't sink to their level, because you're better than them. Most bullies have been bullied themselves. So if you then start to bully them or bully others in retaliation, that makes you almost as bad as them. So just stick with it, and remember you're not alone, and there's always someone who understands. I hope this vlog has been beneficial for you. Comment below and everything if you want to, and I'd be very interested in hearing your stories. So if you want to make a video response or simply comment, I would be very interested. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has helped.